Coach, unlucky on the win, but what a great game of football. Just your thoughts on the 120 minutes, a summary?
Thanks, my leader. Yeah, look, I think this is one game I believe we should have sealed first half. Should have made our life easy. I think we got about 2-3 clear-cut chances, and we were in control. Obviously, we were controlling them because of their tactical flexibility. But as long as they were playing the ball in front of us, they posed no danger until they got that breakthrough that was got by Kemit. But before that, I think we got a chance and we did not take it against the run of play. They got that opportunity, and we're now chasing the game, and we're still in control as much as they were playing. But they did not. They just kept the ball in front of us, and we're always waiting for those moments to hit them. And we look like we were gonna get the equalizer just before halftime, and we got the opportunity again. We did not capitalize on. And then second half we had to change the strategy a little bit, just to put them on the back foot and us obviously be on the front foot. And I think we controlled the tempo of the game, and we forced them to make mistakes as well. And we managed to get the equalizer because we were making those runs from deep. And that's how we got the equalizer. And from that moment again, we looked like we can get the second goal. And we did get the opportunity. We did not take it. And when you go to extra time now, the legs are getting heavy from the players, and that lapse of concentration. And I believe that's how we considered the second goal. Though we made the players aware, that if they bring in Sandile, that means from dead ball situations, they'll be playing the balls in the far post. So we need bodies there that can pick up those two, Kogi and Sandile. And lapse of concentration, and we conceded.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll take questions from the floor, just by a show of hands. Take the first one, brother. Yulube, Newsroom Africa. Go ahead.
Coach, as Fudge already said, Yulube, Newsroom Africa. Coach, remember different stages of the season, you were lamenting that you need a striker. You got Caleb to score goals. It dried up. Again, you said you need a striker. You got Saile, promising, starting to dry up again. But before you got both of those strikers, you were always saying you wanted the right profile of striker. But it seems like in important stages of the season, both of those strikers are not giving you the desired effect. Does that then mean that you have to go again and start the process at the end of the season to find the striker that will complement the way that your team plays and bury some of the chances that could have been crucial today?
Not really. Look, we will always want to beef up. And if you look at the chances that we created today, Saile was in the right place. Ash created the space for him to exploit, and he did, exploit the space, but he just couldn't get or find the target, which is something that we can work on. It's better than having a player on the field who doesn't understand what you expect from him. So he was in the right area at the right time. Unfortunately, we just couldn't convert, and we cannot now put the blame on him because of that, because that's the nature of football. You win some and lose some, and sometimes you take those opportunities. Those opportunities sometimes you don't take them, and when you don't take them, you pay the price. And then that's why we're in this situation where we are knocked out because we did not take those chances. But I cannot falter the effort and the commitment of the players today. They gave their best, they gave their all, and I'm proud of them.
All right, next question, please. Are there any other questions which can close the session? There's a question from News 24, Kanyiso. Just wait for the mic, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coach, hard luck on the result. Coach, it is your first season of Chiefs, and granted, first seasons are always difficult, but when you look back at this particular season. You're out of any trophy contention now. So what does this particular result mean for you emotionally?
Thanks for the question. Look, obviously this was always going to be a difficult season, even whether we were going to win one cup or not. The fact was everyone was trying to find himself in terms of the new players who are coming in, new setup, new environment, and also a demanding, environment. Not just, an environment where you can play one game well, and then the second game you can get away with it, or if you don't win games. So with us, you have to perform week in, week out, and some of the guys, they were still obviously adjusting to that because of the demands, and I cannot blame them. That's part of playing for a team of Kaizer Chiefs caliber. And yeah, we've learned from this season. We learned from our mistakes, and we'll move on and we'll try and rectify our mistakes going forward.
Got a question here, Lawrence. Big Disky Times. I've noticed you tell me.
Coach, after you guys flew through the lane, there was obviously notable celebrations from everyone involved, getting Pirates, and obviously at that point you guys had won Pirates 5 times in a row. Do you think there was a sense of overconfidence from the squad at the celebration linking to this result?
No, I don't think so. Look, the celebration was not about that we took Pirates for granted. It was more of whoever that, even if it was another team, we were still going to celebrate, But for us, it was not, to be quite honest, it was not a celebration. It was okay. Bring it on, It, obviously, it's one of the big games, South African football calendar. And if you play against your direct rivals, and you always want to, get the best out of the players, and the players as well, they see this as the opportunity, to showcase their talent, because each and everyone, like today, for 2 hours, if not more, South Africa, came to stand still watching this game. So who doesn't want to be part and parcel of that? It's a history in making. So yes, unfortunately, it's just that we ended up on the losing side. But I'm still proud of the guys, the effort that they gave today, and the commitment, So it wasn't to be, and yeah, we move on. We learn from this one, and we move on. We'll try and rectify our mistakes going forward, and give our best all the time.
Okay, last round of questions, starting with Delmain Sokaladuma.
Coach Delmain Sokaladuma over here.
Yeah.
Unlucky on the loss. Coach, in terms of your mandate, was winning the Nedbank Cup one of the things that the club's management expected of you?
Winning cups with Kaizer Chiefs is my mandate. As much as we were in a season where we wanted to obviously get things, right first, bring in the right players, find a way of playing, and also get the right chemistry within, and the team, and look at ourselves as two now when we move forward. How do we beef up and start challenging? So I think going to the semi-final of MTN 8 obviously gave us hope, and we had the opportunity to seal the game again here at FNB. We ended up playing 1-1, and even today is more or less the same. Semi-final, we had the opportunity to kill the game off early, and it wasn't to be. And as I said, I believe going forward, we'll take it one step closer, and we'll learn from this one.
Maskepe, Power FM.
Yes, Maskepe here. Coach, I think at the beginning of the season, when you were making or announcing the signings, the biggest thing was to rebuild the team. That's what I think you kept on mentioning. But now there is no trophy, and the cap place is not necessarily in your hand. Now, when you look at what's left, and you look at the year that you've had, how would you sum it up in terms of what you wanted personally, and also what you wanted for the club?
Look, for the club, as I said, as much as we're in the rebuilding phase, we still wanted to, participate in CAF next season. And unfortunately, as you said, those chances are a bit slim, but it's all up to us again. We're not going to give up. We're playing against SuperSport. If we finish position 3, that will give us hope, obviously, going forward in terms of preparing for CAF Champions League, in years to come. Because even Confederation Cup can prepare you much better. The fact is, you start traveling, it changes the mindset, and also players need to dig deeper and be able to deal with many challenges, of traveling all over Africa. And that's how players can grow and understand the demands of playing at that level. So if it did not happen, it doesn't mean that it was a bad season altogether. I think with the new squad, with many also sometimes actually giving also the youngsters that are coming from our own development, it's been a good season in some of the things that we did right. Unfortunately, results were fluctuating, were not consistent, and as you said, we're looking forward to the next season, and we can do things better. We can learn from this season's mistakes and move on.
Quick one, Velila.
Coach Vela from SABC. Just going back to your statement, that it's the first season. In comparison, especially after a game like this, the rivalry between the two clubs. The Pirates coach is also in his first season. He's now in his second final. Maybe also win his second trophy. How do you respond to a fan who would also say, look at what is happening on that side, it's also their first season and this is what they've achieved?
Yeah, obviously, the only difference when it comes to that is us bringing in new players, that needed to gel, and that us also working on our chemistry, understanding. And when you look at Pirates, how many players that that they brought this season, yeah, and already they had a core. So with us, we didn't have a core. We had to start afresh. When you look at most of the players that were part and parcel of the team this season, some of them did not play. And take into consideration that most of our key players, for me, very key players that could have played a huge role, even in today's game. In many other games that we ended up, losing, they were out, they out injured, key players. So those who were given the opportunity, they gave their best, and it wasn't to be, It wasn't to be. So that's the difference. We had a lot of injuries in our case to key players, and now we had to chop and change the team. At some point, we played with a makeshift defense, just to make sure that we consolidate and we don't drop more points. And at some point, we did drop points that we shouldn't have. And as I said, it was the most difficult season in terms of injuries, and the challenges that we came across in making sure that we have that consistency, within the squad.
Last question, Disetso.
Disetso from Football Conversations. Coach, you've had a very solid season, solid first season considering the rebuild required in the team. You've had a lot of games this season that are very similar to this one, where you've had more than enough chances to make the game safe, but it seems that the players just can't get over the line. What sort of psychological adjustments are you going to make sure that you implement in order for the results like this to not happen next season and going forward? Thanks.
Thanks, my brother. I think, unfortunately, you are the only one that sees that, see it as a solid season. I think a lot of people, obviously, because of the demands of, playing for this team and the expectations, they'll see us as failures, and forgetting where we come from. But I understand. I take it, like a man, and yes, I'm disappointed. I believe we could have done better. Look. We've done a lot of things good, when you compare to where we come from, changing the squad, and it was never going to be easy anyway. But hence I said I'm very proud of the players. We are only left with 2 games, you know. And when you look at the stats, and they always say stats don't lie. You know, go and check the stats of the Kaizer Chiefs past 3 seasons. Then you'll see that there is a lot of improvement in this squad compared to the previous squads that we have assembled.